Boris Johnson has been urged to ditch all EU flags and other propaganda on buildings and other projects which previously benefited from Brussels cash. Brexiteer Jane Ardier further accused the Prime Minister of failing to read the small print of the withdrawal agreement which he signed to extricate Britain from the bloc. Ms. Ardier, director of Get Britain Out, wrote to Mr. Johnson after a Freedom of Information request confirmed it was a legal requirement to display the EU flag and EU propaganda on infrastructure projects, public space adaptations which have received EU funding. In her letter to the PM, she suggests his government had seemingly failed to read the small print of the agreements which he signed up to with the European Union.
She asked, was the
government unaware of this requirement, or did you simply want to try and get an easy good news headline by announcing a ban on the EU flag, hoping none of us would realize the truth?
She adds,
these are very serious questions which need answering, because the people of this great country do not like to be taken for fools. If you wish to follow through with your claimed policy, then why not do something about it, or repay the £54 million received from the EU as part of the COVID-19 Recovery Fund, and make sure there are no EU flags or propaganda displayed anywhere in this country now we have left the EU. Ms. Ardier told Express.co.uk, for the last 5 years, both this government and Theresa May's before, have made endless empty promises to the great British public, but time and again, the actions do not match the words. Isn't it about time the government finally started delivering on the claims they make in the press? She continued, if a mistake was made, then own up to it. Do not try to hide away from mistakes hoping nobody notices, because the electorate will not have the wool pulled over their eyes. Brexit was about taking back control, and reinvigorating the UK's political system to allow people to trust in politics, and politicians. However, with half-truths like these over the display of EU flags and propaganda, all we are seeing is more of the same. As long as this pattern of empty promises continues, the Prime Minister is doing nothing more than tarnishing his own legacy and throwing away an opportunity for real change. In accordance with the Welcome Back Fund, councils in towns and cities across the UK have been given £56 million in EU cash to support the return to high streets safely and to build back better from the pandemic. However, the deal comes with strings attached. Local authorities are required to display the blue and yellow flag despite the fact that Britain left the bloc last year, and that throughout its membership it was a net contributor to the bloc. Despite Brexit, the UK is still eligible for certain payments from the fund until the end of 2023, but only if it continues to follow Brussels rules. Speaking to Express.co.uk in June, Lee Evans, editor-in-chief of pro-Brexit think tank Facts for EU, told Express.co.uk, the EU's largesse with British people's money, and that of the other few net contributors to the EU budget, has been compulsorily badged as coming from the EU Commission, on plaques and signage throughout all EU countries. Readers will have seen evidence of this in the UK for many years, despite the fact that this was in effect UK money, rebadged by the EU, and of which only a part was returned in the form of donations to local projects in the United Kingdom. He added, that said, things are perhaps going to start changing. For example, Ireland, one of the most pro-EU countries, is now a net contributor to EU funds after decades of being a net beneficiary. We don't believe that this has yet sunk in the Republic, but when it does, Irish citizens might start to become more sceptical. According to the Office for National Statistics, the UK's net contribution to the EU last year was £20 billion. Thanks to a deal negotiated by former Margaret Thatcher in the 1980s, the government receives an annual rebate of £4.5 billion, with a further £4.5 billion coming back in the form of cash for aforementioned infrastructure projects. Nevertheless, this means Britain was still a net contributor to the tune of around £11 billion.